Good afternoon, Lynette Oxley here for Tac Shack Tactical TV. I'm with Paul from Ghana, South Africa for our weekly insert a little bit earlier this week. We're not going to have one on Friday, but we'll have one next Friday. Am I correct, Paul?
Yep, Christmas message next Friday.
I think we should maybe, I think we should maybe start just talking about the home invasion situation.
Yeah, so funny also for us.
We've just had, I've had a phone call 2 minutes ago from one of my club members, and there's been another home invasion with another 2 intruders shot, and that is the third incident today that we know about.
It's the sixth. So one of our members early this morning, the GOSA law emergency phone very rarely rings. It doesn't ring because it's only for emergencies. For GOSA members who have access to emergency legal services, the gold and diamond members. And this morning the phone rang at about 5 o'clock. One of our members, whose father is also a member, shot an intruder and required immediate assistance. Unfortunately, well, fortunately they're okay. Fortunately, the intruder isn't okay, but Uji might be making an appearance again. Anyway, but the guy had let his diamond membership lapse, but so he needed to reinstate it urgently. But of course, the specific event, because he had let it lapse, the specific event, we couldn't help him with paying the legal fees up front for him. So he has to pay the legal fees, but we've still put him in touch with the lawyers, and he's still going through all of those motions. So guys, keep up to date. You never know when it's your turn. And this is the point, is then immediately thereafter, we pick up on the news wires that a well-known Roodepoort-based sports shooter has shot 3 people in his house. 2 deceased and 1 wounded. Guys broke into his house and were coming up the stairs towards his bedroom, and he picked them off. But we don't know who that is yet, because it's already in the hands of the media. So we don't know who that is, and we wouldn't reveal the name in any case. But literally, as we were about to go on air, 2 minutes to airtime, phone rings. One of our club members, I'm not sure if he's a GOSA member, he might very well be. One of his friends shot another intruder. Two intruders. So that's 6
guys, that's scary.
That's 6 in one day, guys. This is serious. This is serious. And I mean, in every one of those 3 incidents, it looks like the homeowner, the good guy, won, and that's fantastic news. It's fantastic news that they're thinning out the criminal herd. Maybe it's a Christmas present for everybody.
But all of them were armed. I know that they dropped 9mm 2 pistols at the second incident that we talked about. I literally don't know what this incident is. I was just handing it over to Chris, which is the legal counsel. So yeah, keep up your membership with GOSA.
And keep your heads on a swivel, guys. They're out there to get us.
Yeah, I think it's there's extreme poverty out there at this stage.
Although poverty is not a driver of criminality.
No, it's not.
The guys must get over this. It's not because people are poor that they become scumbags.
Yeah.
They're scumbags first.
Yeah. So yeah, please keep vigilant and look around you.
And speaking of scumbags, I see Martin Hood wrote a letter to the minister, the scumbag, yesterday, quite a cross letter saying...
it's an interesting one I let
today.
So
putting the minister on notice that he will be advising his clients, or he is advising his clients who have expired licensed firearms, to hang on to those firearms and not surrender them to the police.
That is very interesting, because Martin is usually quite conservative.
Martin's sticking his neck out on that.
Which is interesting for me.
We all expect the Fidelity case, when probably in the middle of next month, probably in a month's time. We all expect the judgment to go one way, because that's the way the judges themselves were criticizing the process and saying, how can this be? What are we even doing in court?
Because he mentioned the Hunter's case, which is obviously which was called up, and then he said
correct.
He also mentioned the amnesty. Maybe just explain a little bit more what it's about.
Okay, so this is about the ability to hang on. This is about the ability to apply for a new license on a firearm whose license has expired. So we all know that, thanks to the Hunter's case, we all know that you cannot revive a dead license. Once a license expires, it's dead. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. We all know that. We accept that reluctantly. However, there's nothing in the law that prohibits you from applying for a new license on that same firearm. The issue has been, at the moment, who stores the firearm in the interim. The police have been up until the amnesties, the last two amnesties, the police have been insistent that they cannot store firearms. They can only take firearms in for destruction. Then the Nat Shoot settlement in the beginning of last year established that the police must take in, unless you surrender your firearm, unless you forfeit it to the state for destruction, you can surrender it to the state and then apply for a license on it, and they have to store it for you. They have to keep it.
And we know that.
So they have done that. They have done that for the last 2 years. Now, in this case, again, this Fidelity case, the minister's representatives in court, on their papers, say, no, you can't do that. And then when the judges put them on the point of a sword during the hearing of the matter, they backtracked and said, yeah, no, actually they understand that you can apply for a new license. Now they're complaining. So a week after the court case, in the state's answer to GOSA's amicus papers, the state again claims, they backtrack again on the concessions they made in front of Acting Chief Justice Zondo, that they were forced to make in front of Zondo, because it's just illogical. What they're trying to claim is illogical. It's unlawful. The law allows for, by not prohibiting it, the law allows for you to apply for a new license on that same firearm. The only question is where the firearm is stored. So Martin had, in the run-up to this, been suggesting that people surrender their firearms to the police and then tell the police they want to apply for a new license.
But he's now suggesting.
Martin is now, yesterday in his letter to the minister, has said, no, he's going to start advising his clients now not to hand over the firearms to the police.
That's quite a...
because the police are patently incapable. The police minister is patently incapable of doing his damn job. It seems like it's a circus in the firehouse. They're running around with their heads with their hair on fire at the police ministry at the moment. So Martin has now told the minister. He's put the minister on warning that he is going to be instructing his clients to keep the firearms and then apply for new licenses. So it's a clown show. It's a complete clown show.
And then you hear that they're poisoning each other in the police as well. Did you see those reports?
Really.
It's just
look. It's madness. Anyway, so that's that. That's dealing with Martin's issue.
What's the GOSA's issue?
We are. So I promised you last week that we have a court date already in the beginning of February. We were looking for another court date to take on the printout matter, literally, for the court to decide to tell us what a license is, and to instruct the police to approve the release of firearms based on printouts, since there's been a bit of a problem. And I'll talk to you about the other problem in a moment. If you ever wanted to know how mad it is in the police, this illustrates it. In any case, so what we've decided to is we've actually bundled the two together because we have a court date in the beginning of February. So we've decided, yes, we can. We've decided to fold the other matter, the determining the declarator. So it's actually two declarators. It's one declarator telling us how long a competency must take, And the other declarator is now that the police must be able to issue printouts from the system, countersigned by the DFO, countersigned by the station. We don't care, but they must be able to do that in the interim. So now that cuts across the waiting for cards issue. So in the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of cards suddenly. Guys that applied in October are getting their cards already.
But not people.
So this is really weird. So we wondered where this was coming from. How is this possible? How? When the police take a year to process a license application, how is this 30-day processing time happening? So now we know. So there was a whole kerfuffle about the police moving premises from faulty towers to telecom towers, which I suppose is just as faulty. But they were between the two. They moved and they closed down to move, and then they couldn't. There was no telephone access or communications at telecom towers.
That is very funny.
Irony is not dead. So then they had to move back to faulty towers, Falkstem Avenue. And now they've apparently moved, their lines have been put in, they've moved back to telecom towers, the new premises. But when they walked out of faulty towers, they locked the doors behind them. And all the 2 years of backlog licenses are locked away in faulty towers.
So what's behind you is behind you.
What's behind you is behind you. First rule of Italian driving. So they're sitting in the new offices at Telcom Towers, dealing only with the license apps that have come in since they moved. So that's why the stuff is going through.
It's going
through,
forever.
bang, bang, bang. It's coming out. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Except for the 2 years worth of backlog that's sitting in faulty towers. They're not touching that at all. Because I don't know. Maybe the guy who had the key died. I don't know. It's there.
They haven't made a plan.
No, they're not going to make a plan. Why should they make a plan? But it's just this general chaos.
Chaos.
There's no method. There's no procedure that they follow. It's luck of the bloody draw.
Yeah.
It's so I don't know, hey. So the point is that new licenses are coming through thick and fast, but they're licenses where the people have literally applied in October, and they're getting their cards already. It's fantastic for those people. It sucks a little bit to be the people that applied before this, because you're now on the back burner for God knows whenever they get a gap.
But that's just procedurally, it's unprocedural.
So that's what this whole thing is about. It's to cut through this lack of procedure. It's to cut through the administrative mayhem. It's to address the performance delivery, to get the people moving, to get the stuff coming through.
And that there is a set rules for everybody, because some of the amnesty forms were released on paperwork. Some people, some of the DFOs would stamp.
The DFOs would sign, would
sign and stamp,
take printouts from the system, stamp them, and send the people downstairs to the 13 store with a printout to collect the firearms. Because the DFOs realize the DFOs aren't, they're not stupid. They know that the license has been granted. So the only people that don't know that the license is granted, by the look of this, is the Minister of Police and the National Commissioner, the Registrar, who seem to be very, very stupid people.
Obviously, the legal cost is costing a lot. So,
Lord,
anybody
yes, guys,
wants
please give GOSA will try to give you a Christmas present if you try to give GOSA a Christmas present. We're in dire need of funding. We haven't stopped working. We aren't going to stop working. We are literally working up to the 24th. We'll close between Christmas and New Year, but we're back in the first week of January. We're back in the job again, because we can't. This is busy time for us. There's a lot happening. And apart from our members who are getting themselves into sticky situations which we have to assist with.
But GOSA law will obviously, if there's a situation,
the emergency phone is operating 24/7, 365 days.
Even if you're not a GOSA member, you can use it, but
you have access to the GOSA. You don't have access to the emergency phone number if you're not a member. If you're a member, you get access to the number. But the GOSA office will be open. If you have a hassle, get in touch with us. We can hook you up. You know, at least we know firearms attorneys, specific firearms around the country. We have a network throughout the country.
Because normal lawyers do not know the Firearms Control Act, and no. I've actually found that they usually phone in and say, oh, they have this and this client, what should they do?
We get that from a lot of lawyers. You know, guys specialize in stuff. They specialize in divorce law, family law. They specialize in property transfers and stuff like that. But guys phone them and say, hey, listen, you did my property transfer, but now I've just shot somebody. What do I do now?
Yeah.
So they'll phone us. Their attorneys phone us and say to us, can you advise me? What do I do?
So you need to
We've got firearms specialist attorneys on
You do need a firearms specialist that knows what you can and cannot do.
You don't want to end up sitting over the Christmas weekend in Chucky because you didn't have the right guy on speed dial.
Absolutely. Anything else, Paul?
So I've been busily delivering Scrappy. It's in all the safari and outdoor branches throughout the country. It's in the Dave Shear Guns, Pretoria Arms, Waterfall Arms. We have a lot of guns that have gone out directly
not guns, you mean books.
Guns. Sorry, the Rottweiler's distracting me.
Yeah, we were worried about the camera guy.
Yeah, he's about to take the camera tripod with him again. Anyway, so I've been delivering books. We've been couriering books out. I mean, the courier's been here a million times. The books are flowing out. They're a great last-minute Christmas present for the kiddies. It doesn't specifically refer to Christmas, but it's a great Christmas present. It's at the right time. It starts to gun-proof children. The whole point is you can't child-proof a gun, but you can gun-proof children. This is the first step. This is aimed at ages from 3 upwards.
To about 10.
To about 10. I think 10 is a bit, well, who knows. You know, it could age, I still haven't grown up, so you could probably read it to me. Anyway, guys, please get in touch with events at gosa.gosa to order books. The books will ship. They will be with you before Christmas. But yeah, guys, have a great week, great long weekend, because nobody's working on Friday except us.
And then
we'll see you next Friday
maybe
at the Christmas
a little bit earlier.
Maybe a little bit earlier, so we can also go. We can also go home and start cooking the turkey and stuff.
Stuff like that. Anyway, thank you very much, Paul, and thanks to the viewers. Cheers for now. I can't even speak.
Bye.